we can get a more complicated equation like that one. We've got 4x squared minus 3x equals 3x squared plus 5x minus 14. To solve this equation by completing the square, we can only have x squared and x's on one side of the equation. Here we have x squared and x. Here we also have x squared and x and minus 14, so we get rid of these. Subtract 3x squared, subtract 5x. On the other side of the equal, you do the same thing. Subtract 3x squared, subtract 5x. That is 4x squared minus 3x squared. It's x squared minus 8x. And on this side, we just have the negative 14. Right? So we complete the square. We take the negative 8, half of that is negative 4, and square it. Plus negative 4 squared. Negative 4 squared is 16, so plus 16 on the other side of the equal. Alright, we can factor this. The two numbers whose product is 16 and sum is negative 8 are negative 4 and negative 4. Same number. And negative 14 plus 16 is 2. We take the square root, that's x minus 4, and here positive or negative is the square root of 2. Now I know that the square root of 2 is not exact. So I'm just going to leave it as the square root of 2. Then we cancel the minus 4 by adding 4, plus 4, plus 4. There's nothing much you can do on this side, but here it's just x. And here I'm going to put 4 plus and minus the square root of 2. This gives us two solutions. 4 plus the square root of 2 is the exact solution. And that approximately is 5.41. Let's say we're rounding to hundredths. And the other one, 4 minus the square root of 2, which would be 2.59. You do that in your calculator. Let's see one last example. We've got 4x squared minus 14x equals 15. All right, first thing, we do have the x squares and the x's on this side, equals 15. But we have to work with one x squared. So, we're going to get rid of the 4 by dividing. We're going to divide by 4 on both sides of the equation. 4x squared divided by 4 is x squared. Negative 14x divided by 4, negative 14 fourths is negative 7 halves of x. And 15 fourths is 15 fourths, can't write it in, it's already in lowest terms. So, I'm going to add something here. It's going to be half of negative 7 halves. Let's put it here, negative 7 halves divided by 2 is the same thing as negative 7 halves times a half, which is negative 7 fourths. And we're going to square that. So plus negative 7 fourths squared. And on this side, negative 7 squared is 49. 4 squared is 16, so it's 49 sixteenths. We can factor this because the two numbers whose product is negative 7 fourths squared and sum is negative 7 halves are negative 7 fourths and negative 7 fourths. So we just put negative 7 fourths. Now we need common denominator. Between 4 and 16, it is 16. So we have 4 to become 16, it's times 4. So 15 times 4 is 60. That's 60 sixteenths and 49 sixteenths. Right. We add these two, that's sixteenths. 60 plus 49 is 109. Now we take the square root, so that just leaves x minus 7 fourths. And here, positive or negative, the square root of 109/16. Because it's a fraction inside of the square root, I can split it into 2. That's 109 divided by the square root of 116. 16. The square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 109, it doesn't have one, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So our solution, we add 7/4 on both sides. So that would be 7/4 plus and minus the square root of 109/4. That is two solutions. The first one using the plus, 7/4 plus the square root of 109/4, and 7/4 minus the square root of 109/4. Those are the two exact solutions. You go to your calculator, put this in, and you get the rounded answers.